Guys, my name is Noni Matikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about something very important, the cross-examination of Lieutenant Khumalo by Advocate Mnisi. So today we are unpacking one of the most important moments in his testimony, and that is why Advocate Mnisi is very important. He was relentless. That cross-examination was relentless, guys, and my God. OMG. Anyway, so Mnisi did some questions to Lieutenant Khumalo regarding the Nongoma case, commonly referred to as case 163 of 8 2018. Now, many people may have been wondering why Advocate Mnisi spent so much time focusing on a case that is not the Senzo Meyiwa case. Or the Senzo Meyiwa murder case itself. The answer is simple when it comes to that, guys. Mnisi was not interested in the Nongoma case alone, per se. Do you understand? He was interested in exposing what he believes could be the foundation upon which the arrest and investigations were built. That's what he was interested in. And you know that Mnisi has a vast experience of being a prosecutor. He knows exactly what he's doing. Now, step one of Mnisi's strategy was to establish what exactly this Nongoma case was and who was linked to it. In fact, that is what we all interested in as people of South Africa. The defense wanted clarity regarding whether accused number 2, Bongani Sandiso Ndanzi, was ever legitimately, please let that sink in, legitimately connected to the Nongoma matter. That is what we were interested in. This is important because the state has consistently relied on a sequence of events that eventually led investigators to the accused person in the Senzo Meyiwa case, okay? Step 2 was testing the reliability of the information contained in the Nongoma case, okay? Versus the reliability of the story that was told by Mokgane and Gininda inside the courtroom of Judge Rata Mokgwatleng. Mnisi carefully questioned Khumalo about records, registration processes, and the status of the case. The defense wanted to know whether proper procedures had been followed and whether there was documentary proof linking the accused to that matter. So it was about dismantling the entire narrative of Gininda and his team, Gininda, Mokgane, and the entire cold case unity when it comes to the Nongoma case, linking Bongani Ndanzi with it. Now, then came the crucial issue when it comes to this. According to evidence that emerged during the proceedings, Ndanzi was not a suspect in the Nongoma case, was never a suspect in the Nongoma case, was never a person of interest in the Nongoma case, was never wanted by the police from KwaNongoma. He was never for that 163 case, okay? If that is something to go by, wow, Gininda and team, what a wow, Sana. Hey, yo, Sana. Then Mnisi's next question becomes devastating for the state. How can a person who was not a suspect in the Nongoma case matter become contrary to an investigation flowing from that very matter? Mnisi wanted that to be made clear by Lieutenant Khumalo. That question strikes at the heart of the state's narrative itself. Mnisi then moved to another critical area, the issue of the case number itself. The issue of the case number itself. The defense challenged how a case number could exist while questions remained regarding registration, records, and the manner in which the case was handled. The argument is simple. Criminal investigations are governed by procedures. Every step must be properly documented and traceable. If those procedures are questionable, then the defense gains ammunition to challenge everything that followed. What Mnisi was doing here was creating doubt. Not necessarily proving innocence at this stage, no, but showing the court that there may be so many gaps, inconsistencies, and unanswered questions surrounding the origins of the investigation itself. The significance of this cannot be overstated, right? The defense has repeatedly argued that investigators worked backward, and now they are being proven right by Khumalo's testimony. Instead of following evidence to suspects, they identified the suspects first and then attempted to fit evidence around the suspects. That is what Gininda and his team did there. So that is what is being revealed right now. Whether the court ultimately agrees with that argument remains to be seen. But when the time comes, we want to see what Judge Rata is going to do with that information. But what became clear during Mrs. cross-examination is that the Nongoma issue is far from a minor side story. Very far from that. It may become one of the pillars of the defense closing arguments, because if the defense can convince the court that the foundation was defective, then they will argue that everything built upon the foundation becomes unreliable. This is why Mnisi kept returning to the Nongoma case. This is why he kept pressing Khumalo. And this is why the state may still have difficult questions to answer when closing arguments finally arrive. The battle over Nongoma is not just about a docket. It is about credibility. It is about procedure. And ultimately, it is about whether the investigation followed the evidence or whether the evidence was made to follow the investigation. Now, do you understand the significance of it all? Do you understand what was happening here? Defense was not playing here. Defense was not playing here. They were not playing here. Do you believe that Mnisi exposed serious weaknesses in the state's version? Or do you think the state will successfully explain these issues before the end of the trial? What are your thoughts when it comes to all of this? Because Sana, I could be. Oh, I could be, San, could be. I cannot wait to see. Mnisi was not cross-examining Khumalo for answers only. He was building a legal bomb for closing arguments. The Nongoma case may become the defense's way of saying the arrest was shaky, the link was shaky, and the state's version was shaky from the beginning. And I don't know how they are going to work around this. Now, the impact this entire situation has, this helps the defense to argue that the investigation may have been driven by a pre-decided theory instead of clean evidence. That is where the core issue is. It also supports the defense's theme that the accused were fitted for this. Oh, we've been saying this, even as people who are viewers of the case, we've been saying this about this case. Now, the other issue that is big here is that case number 16308-2018 is not a murder case. It's not a murder case. It is a matter of, it is a case of being found with a firearm, unlicensed firearm, and ammunition for Qiniselani Buthelezi, Makimbi Qiniselani Buthelezi. Do you see why Gininda wanted initial? Now it shows why Gininda said, in fact, if you don't understand the first confession, the so-called first confession of the confession of accused number one, then here is your answer. They wanted to frame Makimbi for this case. And when they were doing that, they did not know Makimbi's real names. And at this point, I really want them to please. I want them to please help us with the dates. If ever they spoke to Makimbi, we want the dates. At this point, we want the dates. When was Makimbi approached. What are your thoughts when it comes to all of this, guys? Please, let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Do enjoy your day. Bye-bye.